I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston. Hey, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog. Like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm on the road, y'all.
I can't with you.
Oh, what's happening? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Welcome back to another episode of the Good Tea Great Time podcast. Your boy James was the third.
And it's your girl Cook Don One, Cook the Thugger, all that.
Okay, it is July, y'all.
Yes, July. It's finally July, man.
Like
you're flying by.
Like it's the 7th month.
Yeah, the 7th month of 2023. I don't know where this year is at. It feels like it's been 2023 for a long time, but then I also feel like it's going by real fast.
Like,
I don't know. The time is glitching. The matrix is glitching because I don't even understand time anymore.
Where the fuck is Neo
right.
to save the day at this point?
Right, because the red and blue pill, I need an option.
Okay, I need a green one because I need something to like stop it.
Period. I want a pink pill. What the pink pill do?
What the pink pill? That's actually no shade.
Welcome to my world.
We gotta find a pink pill. My very Nicki Minaj body.
How would you come?
Okay. How you feeling today?
I am okay. I'm happy to be out of the house. I'm happy that it is not raining. Because the weather here has been up and down.
Not yet, bitch. It was like 99 degrees yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like, I have not been getting any vitamin D because I have not been leaving the house.
Listen, I've gotten enough for the both of us because they've been having me at the park and all kinds of stuff.
Oh gosh, that just sounds not attractive at the moment. Like Piedmont just sounds like hell.
Can you imagine how cute it is with some nice shoes, a cute little shirt, some jean shorts, and then your back is sweating?
Nah, for real. Like, not even, and that's the thing. Like, even if you were to wear black, or you wear to something that you can't see the sweat, you can still feel it.
Listen.
And that just makes you feel like a smutty individual, and I don't like it.
I don't like it. You couldn't tell me I wasn't taking a bath while I was walking around the park.
That's what I'm saying. That part should be different.
It's crazy. But welcome back, y'all. So happy that you are tuned in today. Hope you're having a great weekend. My weekend has been cool. You know, went to the park, took some pictures, kind of getting into photography.
Oh, yes. We'll definitely have to look those.
Yeah, it's only like 4.
Okay, that's fine. That's something.
I didn't know where the flash button was.
Interesting.
But it was really cute. They had like this 40 and over double dutch.
Oh, that's cool. I think I seen something like that on Facebook.
Yeah, it was super cute. Seeing they were all women, and then they would do it, and then anybody, like, if you're around and you wanted to try, you can do it. Okay. So that was super cool. And they had all kinds of vendors and food. And this like lemonade stand that you can get it like clean or dirty. Dirty would be with tequila. Clean would be obviously without. But the dirty one, I forgot what it was. It was blueberry. I got the blueberry one with tequila, and it was so fast. I drank it so fast.
Okay.
I felt like alcoholic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ain't when y'all outside.
Yeah, in 99 degrees.
That's what I'm saying. I would have been a dry day for me because water and juice me down, baby.
Okay.
I can't do no liquor in the heat.
It was cool though. I had a good weekend. Then today I'm supposed to go to iFly, so I'm excited / nervous about dying there.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That in the air stuff.
Yeah, it's creepy, and even though it's like, oh no, it's controlled, I'm like, yeah, until it's not.
Yeah, so, until I bust my lip.
There's that.
And I don't like that.
And then you gotta sign like a waiver and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anything where I gotta sign a waiver is give it Ocean Gate. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Like
I'm good because that means there's a potential
that something could happen.
That
to
I could
me.
die.
And then what am I supposed to do with that?
I don't have a will ready. I
have nothing in order. Nothing in order. So I gotta get some stuff in order before I can do all that.
This is no shade.
Got some dental work I got. Listen, I just got too much stuff on the plate right now. I can't do that.
What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday was Saturday. What did I do Saturday? For some reason, nothing.
Okay.
I was chilling. I did a lot of chilling. I did some editing content. It was a content day. Rest. Got some rest.
That's real.
I had a very boring Saturday.
That sounds very boring.
I had things planned, but then everything fell through. And I'm in a place right now where I'm just not finna force it. So if it don't happen, baby, it just don't happen. I'm so sorry.
Why are you mad at you? Rest is important. I don't like resting because idle minds. Well, my idle mind goes bananas. It's the Virgo in me. So I gotta stay busy and do stuff. So I
Yeah,
don't
maybe
drive
it's the
myself
Virgo in
insane.
me too. Because I just be like, you know what? I could go actually start a new craft. I could do a new hobby. Let's take on jiu-jitsu. Let's start that today.
Okay.
Yeah, I just be thinking I could do anything.
Because you can.
Yeah, I can, but my brain really believes that I can do anything. And I'd be like, actually, the way your adrenaline and your energy level and the way you like to overthink things, ma'am, calm down.
Just chill out.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Just breathe. Just let it out.
It's okay. So today, y'all, I had a topic that I wanted to talk about, but when me and Cookie was talking earlier, something just, I don't know, came over me. It's in me. It's in me. Have you seen The Craft?
Not at all.
Oh my gosh.
The Craft, with the little white girls.
Okay.
And the one black girl with the curly hair.
Yes.
Yeah, I was so young. I don't remember none.
It's one of Rochelle's. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but see, I don't remember nothing that happened.
Okay.
It was like when I was watching Sabrina. Was it the Teenage Witch? The real one, not the cartoon. Well, no, that wasn't a cartoon. Was it a cartoon? No, that was
like
Braceface. That's besides the point. Yes, I watched that from first season to end. Can't tell you anything that happened.
On Sabrina.
Yeah. So I think that it got the same effect as The Craft. I watched that. Don't say anything. Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon's my shit.
Right.
You don't remember anything that happened?
But I don't. I think I was too young to remember. Like, it didn't grab me as much as. But for some reason, I wanted to watch it adamantly. Okay. But I don't remember any of it.
Well, I watched that as an adult. I don't know what that says about me as a person.
I mean, I like Smart Guy as an adult.
Okay.
So. Yeah. And it was so funny because that's why when I wanted to first be your friend, I was like, oh, he reminds me of TJ Henderson. I want to be his friend. I feel like he was him as a kid. That was you as a kid. I feel like that's.
I'd be so rich right now.
Wouldn't we all?
Okay.
Wouldn't we all?
But yeah, I had a topic, but we started talking, and it kind of led me to a space where I really want to have a conversation about timing and patience and communication. Mm-hmm. And I know we probably talked about all three of those things before, but I feel like it's the root of a lot of shit.
Yeah, for sure.
And we can take it one by one. So, timing. Mm-hmm. I feel like everything, all do things in time. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I get it, but we don't have as much time. We don't know how much time we have.
Right.
So how do you make the connection with, okay, be patient and, it'll happen in time, go with the flow. Well, first, whoever came up with go with the flow can fuck themselves. Okay?
Yeah, because what the fuck does that
what does it even mean? Like, where's the flow?
Like, I have to redefine that every time somebody... So what does that mean for you?
What does it mean? And I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and he was like, I get go with the flow, but a lot of people feel like when you go with the flow, you let control go. But when people build a dam, they control the flow of the water. Mm-hmm. So there's still some level of control in going with the flow because you have to navigate where the flow is going.
Right, or you can just isolate.
Okay.
And then there's no flow at all.
How the fuck what's the middleman? What's the gray area? Even though I hate them,
yeah, I
feel like I'm learning that there has to be some kind of balance between control and letting it all hang out. And that's what the gray area is. Because before I would correlate it with negative stuff like, oh, I don't know what's happening, or shit's up in the air.
Yeah.
But I'm learning that there's a positive side to the gray area, and I'm being intentional with how I'm moving, but I'm also allowing it to play out how it's supposed to play out.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like when people have an issue with the gray area, there's a lack of faith. There is some faith that needs to be built there, because this is me speaking somewhat out of my own personal experience, but when you get to point A to point B and you have no clue how you got there, you start being more comfortable or more familiar with that not knowing. And what people won't qualify that as or put a label on that as is that's faith. Being able to get to point A to point B and you don't know how you got there, but you know you got there. So I feel like that control is, I know how I got to point A to point B. I had the resources, I had the time, I had mindset. I had all of these things. But when I don't have the mindset, when I don't have the money, when I don't have the time, how am I going to get there? We still have to get there. Life still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to build that faith. And a lot of times that has been pushed to us as religion.
Mm-hmm.
But this new generation has really taken into this spirituality of it. Mm-hmm. And that can be its own thing. It doesn't have to be that thing where you're in that Baptist church and you got to go up there and catch the whole. It don't have to necessarily be that. But if that's what you want, that's definitely still out here and you can definitely still get that. But I feel like in those moments, that's when I have to turn inwards and say, well, what's not letting me be okay with just understanding that I ain't gonna always have the blueprint. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna always have the formula, and I'm always not gonna be able to show the work. I can't always show the work. Mm-hmm. And that's what I feel like also with school kind of fuck us up with, because they want you to show the work. How did you get there? There has to be some explanation.
Yeah.
It don't always got to be an explanation in life. In school, there's an explanation. In real life, there isn't always one.
Right. Because, bitch, I swear, in my mind, and I think that's a really good analogy. Because in my mind, ever since I was little, there was always a way. Like, I was always the person to plan things out to reach a goal. You want your first car? Okay, get a job, save money, apply for financial whatever, get your car. Okay, you want an apartment, find an apartment while you save your money, while you already got your job. Like, it was always steps to things in growing up. But once I got into adulthood and I had achieved those things that required the steps, now it's like I rarely find myself in situations where I want something that has a
Steps.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So give me the steps to finding a healthy relationship.
Bitch.
Right.
I don't fucking know.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So some things, like for example, like you said, getting a job, getting a car, getting a house, that's school. Mm-hmm. Relationship.
Yeah.
How to set boundaries. How to say no. Like, that is life. That's where that gray area come in. Ain't no blueprint, ain't no formula, it may work for somebody else and it may not work for you. And that's why I feel like we weren't even really programmed to understand that, because school, there has to be some type of blueprint.
Yeah.
There has to be something that I can key in that's going to get me there. What's the cheat code? Like, there's something. It ain't now. You got to do the work.
And even
You're going to have to do the work no matter how ugly, grimy, nasty. You're going to have to do that work.
No shade. And even like in moving from school to being an adult at work, when you're at work, it's steps. It's, okay, this person needs this. I insert it into the computer. The computer tells me this. I give that to the person. The person now has this. But like, once you clock out, it reminds me of how people say, oh, I want a baby, but I'm not sure if I'm ready.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I don't have children, but I would think that you'll never be ready. You can be prepared, but you can never be ready, because
you can have once to be prepared.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, and you have to roll with the punches. But I feel like it's something that, and go with the flow, all those things, I feel like it's easy to say for some people, and I don't know why it's easy to say for some people. Maybe because I don't know. I don't know why it's easy. When people say, oh, just go with the flow. I don't know where that, like, what's your thought process to make you feel okay with saying go with the flow? Because I feel like
when you don't have no control over nothing anyway. I've never had control over anything, so I've always lived with going with the flow. That's some people's life experience.
That's real.
And so they can thrive in that.
Yeah, and I think growing up, like after my parents and stuff separated, I never was afforded the opportunity to go with the flow. Yeah, because I always had to make sure I was good, because nobody else was going to. Nobody else. I couldn't count on a lot of people to be there for me, and I couldn't lean on the same people all the time. Right, because I didn't. Tired. Yeah, so I just didn't say shit to nobody. Yeah, and I just tunnel visioned the fuck out of it and got it done. So now that translates to my life in general with tunnel vision and getting shit done, but
and not knowing how to ask for help. Let's not forget that one.
Right.
Yeah, that one too.
Right.
And I think that could be the story for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Honestly, because we don't understand. It's that survival mode. A lot of us are still living in survival mode. Baby, you is not that hurt child anymore. You can go out here and seek support. You can go out here and find help. I'm pretty sure there are friends out there that are willing to be a lending ear or a shoulder for you to cry on if they knew that's what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, that's why I always tell people, check on your strong friends.
Yeah.
Check on the friends that you always coming to with your problem, because I bet you they got 1,000,001 things going on.
Yeah.
That they just took up under the bed when you call, because it's easier, and I'm speaking from personal experience, it's easier to work out your problems than it is to work out my own problems.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've been finding is me working through people or helping people work through or supporting them while they work through their issues is shedding light on my own problems and also helping me understand where I am in my work and what's next.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to be open. A lot of us are not open to understand you're still in survival mode.
Yeah. And a lot of people close people off that way.
Yeah, for sure. They isolate because then they don't know, are you going to be a supportive friend, or are you going to be someone like a facade where you assume the position of someone that's going to support me, but then you definitely drop the ball or you fumble the bag.
So in your mind, how do you think you can tell the difference between those two kind of people?
For me, I let actions speak.
It was a chuckle.
Yeah, because I have to be mindful of names and stuff. I like to let people show me. I like to give people enough room to show me who they really are. Because, like we said earlier, some people know how to do a lot of good talking. Mm-hmm. Some people know how to finesse. Some people know how to manipulate, But your actions are always going to show what's really going on. Mm-hmm. And I'm a very observing person. Like, I'm watching all the details. I'm watching how your eyebrow quivered. I'm watching how you bit your lip. I'm watching how you slightly turned to the left when you said, like, I'm watching every little thing. So for me, I just give people enough room to show me themselves. I'm very quiet when I first meet somebody or I'm new to an environment. Like when I first got to Nason, for example, I didn't say much. I wasn't in many conversations. I had nothing at all. People didn't even know who I was, and I like it like that. Because let me give you enough room to show me who you are. And then when I move forward, I fuck with the people I fuck with strong. And the people that I did not talk to, I really didn't feel no need to talk to them. You got Andrea. You did not get Cookie. Okay. So I had to be able to give people enough time to show me who they are. Now, some people I completely, I was drawn to automatically. And I had to understand, is this a good drawn energy or is this a bad drawn energy? Because some magnetic energy isn't positive. Yeah. Some magnetic energy is leeching. Yeah. You want what I have. You want this light. You want this peace. You want this calm so bad that you're attaching to it. But what are you giving me? Right. What am I benefiting? And that's what I had to start asking myself. Those are the two questions that I think helped me with this situation. How am I benefiting? How are you benefiting? How am I benefiting? And then what's my evidence? What's my evidence? If I feel like you shading me, if I feel like you're doing me wrong, what's my evidence for that? If I have reasonable evidence, then I'm finna cut your head off.
I was going to say, and if you can confirm the evidence is what it is, then it makes it easier, or it should make it easier.
Then I can move with confidence. I can move knowing that my biggest thing when I'm cutting somebody off or letting go of a situation, did I do all I can do? If I did all I can do, peace, deuces. But if I can see where I was like, all right, yeah, you could have shot. You didn't even give the person a chance. You didn't hear him out. You was mad that day. You was holding something else on your shoulder. If it was situations where I could be real with myself, and I ain't gotta have this conversation with nobody, I can be real with me. If I can't be real with nobody, I know I can be real with me. So if I can be like, all right, yeah, I know I was wrong, then I'll try to hear the person out, or I'll give them that small olive branch for closure where I can let you know that I'm about to cut you out, and you have somewhat of ability to change that narrative, but not much. It'll be more so the level of cordialness. If we can kiki a little, but if not, then it's just hello, how are you?
Good evening.
Alrighty, I'll see you later. Have a great one. And it'll just be that. What about you?
What was the question?
I can't deal. The question was, how do you figure out or decipher? Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Side note, I love conversations like this because in my mind, I think, or in everybody's mind, you think one way, but then when you hear a different perspective, you don't necessarily adopt that as your own, but you kind of blend them together to help create a better sense of self.
Exactly.
Especially when it comes to situations like that. But I'm horrible when it comes to that.
Self-awareness.
Personally, just because I'm a really nice person, and sometimes I'm too nice and too loyal. And a lot of times in the past, I was always loyal to the wrong people, but I found out too late.
Yeah.
So I'm literally, honestly, blind to those type of things because if I see somebody needs help and I have the ability to help them, I do it.
Yeah.
Without looking for anything in return. It's just me as a person. Even when it's so crazy because I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, "You've always been so fucking nice." And I was like, I know, because I remember Pokemon cards was a thing when I was in school. And we would go to like this store that was like an hour away from where we lived, and she would buy us like Pokemon cards. And I would go to school and we would trade them. But instead of trading, people were like, "Oh, you got so-and-so card, that's so cool. Oh, you got a holographic one, that's so cool." And I would give it to them because they wouldn't have any. And then my mom, she wouldn't beat my ass, but she'd be like,
scold you.
Yeah, because we drove all that way and I spent all this money.
And you give shit away.
Right, to people that didn't have it. But
your giving ass heart.
Okay, but in today's life, I still do the same thing, honestly, just because I feel like that's my purpose.
Yeah.
Is to pour into people. Because I've been poured into not by people, but just I've been blessed in life and in health and finances and all that kind of stuff to share it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to people like friends or dating or what have you, I always give me.
Yeah.
Like I don't, and people say, scale back a little, reel it in a little, and it makes perfect sense, right? Because people say don't put all your eggs in one basket, don't give everybody your all.
Period.
But it's hard for me to do that because that's the only way I know how to be.
Yeah.
And if I turn it down or dial it back, I don't know what that looks like.
Right.
But I have learned that I'm able to discern through people's energy what's right. And a lot of the evidence isn't physical or tangible, but it's how I feel. So I go off of that heavy, which is crazy because when we talk about human design, it was like I lead with my emotions, because that's my first indicator. Like that's what catches the red flags first is how you make me feel. And sometimes if I feel a little off, I still give people the benefit of the doubt, even when I probably shouldn't. But when it's literally like kaboom, Hiroshima bomb situation, when I cut people off, it's off. Like when it's done, it's the done. And I never wanted to get to that point, just because I don't like confrontation, because that's how I grew up. So I tried to make everything cordial and conducive to my energy. But I feel like that's, for me, the energy that I feel from people lets me know if I should invest my energy into them.
And that's real because like you said, your human design is your emotional situation, so you should probably make decisions like that. And I think for me, like the situation we were talking about earlier, when I first heard it, it hit me in my gut. It was a gut reaction. I was like, and I think now thinking back over it, it hit me because it was like, this is going to be problematic. So the problematic made my gut like turn up into like knots a little bit, because it was like I instantly start to see where issues could go wrong. So for me, I go with my gut, and when I feel like hell yes and my gut literally expands, I know that that's something I should lean into. But when my gut like turns into knots and it feels like, all right, girl, you gotta go to the bathroom. I probably should lean away from those situations, and that's just, or it's not a good situation, or whatever the case may be. So if you don't know your human design, you know, you might need to tap into that to figure out what it is that you need to listen to, because some people like to be logical.
Yeah.
And sometimes logics don't get it. If it ain't school, if it ain't something that school taught, or something that is like in society where it's clearly a process that you can Google that is decided upon across nations, baby, you ain't gonna be able to go off logic with that. You gonna have to go off whatever your heart, head, or gut is telling you to.
Okay, because low-key, I used to be a very logical person, because
we're trained to.
Yeah, and if it don't make sense, then it just don't make sense. And I will always think like, okay, this happened, did this happen, which means that should have happened, but that didn't happen, and it went this way. And there would be so many diagrams in my head to the point where I would have to figure out the answer, because there has to be an answer, and there has to be a way that they got there. And it would be my job to figure out how that happened. And even personally, if I messed up or I ended up somewhere, I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Because there has to be, I did something that caused me to get here. But as I got older, that kind of changed.
Yeah, that shit don't happen for everybody.
Yeah, it changed. Like people should change their underwear. But
yes, you should do that. For sure, change your underwear. Yes.
But yes, like when you introduce that to me, normally I'm like skeptical about stuff, even though I'm a very spiritual person. It resonated because it kind of timing. It hit me when I needed it to hit me, and it made sense with what was making sense.
Yeah, that's why I try not to push like horoscopes and human design and even meditation. I try not to push that on everybody, because when you need it the most, like when I needed it the most and I had no other freaking options, it definitely showed up when it needed to. So I was excited about that. So I try not to push it on people, but if you all get to feel like you know, it's time for some introspection, it's time for me to really like look inward and see what's going on with me and figure out myself and why do I tick the way I tick. Sometimes horoscopes, sometimes human designs, that can give us a little bit more insight into why we're doing what we're doing. Because it'd be crazy how we'll make decisions, we'll have experiences and events go on in our life, and we'll look at it and it'll be one way, and then you'll read something about someone else or even possibly yourself, and you'll be like, damn, somebody had a completely different perspective than me. You can get caught into your own bubble. You can get caught into your own bubble, and that's why social media sucks sometimes. Because you can get caught into your own bubble so badly you believe that it's factual. That ain't factual. You have to hear other people's opinions, and then that's where that whole yes man and yes woman thing comes into play. That's why I'm that's why I'm so bold, and I try to speak my mind so strongly, because I'm not a yes woman. I'm not finna tell you yes because you're my friend. Like, I would tell James, no, you're dead ass wrong.
Tells me no a lot.
You need to calm your happy ass down. Like, you're doing too fucking much. Like, and I get reaffirmed every morning. I check my horoscope and they be like, be brutally honest, because everybody out here sugarcoating that shit.
Listen, I need to write down who the fuck is sending you these horoscopes so I can just tell them to ease up.
But no, because it be people, they be having too many yes people around them, and they just be like, and I be sitting there like, this nigga's a delusion. You been sitting around these folks that been telling you right, because they so used to be right in that school term that they think you know right in that life term, but them two different schools. Yeah. Them two different schools, and I'm in the process of trying to merge the two.
Okay, no, and that's why I literally maybe talked to 4 people about, it's literally like 4 people that know everything that is going on in my life. You are definitely number 1. Because I agree. I hate yes people. I don't want to be, sometimes I don't want to be right.
Yeah, they can get you killed.
Listen.
You be dead ass wrong. Don't even know.
And broke. Like,
whoo, be broke hell.
No, ma'am. So I think it's important to have that balance of friends. Like, yes, have the friends who gonna have your back regardless, but also have those friends that'll be like, bitch,
actually,
you know damn well,
you know you're wrong.
And it's okay if it's the same person, because you're the same person for me. Which is why I think before I ask you, because in order to receive that, you have to be in the space where you can be okay with being wrong.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I will say that's one thing Nasim has taught me. Sometimes you wrong, bitch. Like, you ain't right all the time. Like, some shit, with your homegirls, girl, you be right here. You got that shit down. But this is a new demographic of people. You don't know these people. You know they signs and stuff like that, but you don't know all the other stuff that, make them a whole person. So you have to give people chances to show you this. Okay. And then you can truly learn them as a person and understand that sometimes you're wrong. Because sometimes I don't know if it's my negative black mind that's thinking worst case scenario all the time. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Prove me wrong. I'm okay with you proving me wrong, especially when I'm thinking worst case scenario. I want you, especially if you black. Oh my God. If you black and I'm thinking worst case scenario, please, baby, prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong.
Okay, that was
good. That one did, because my God. Sometimes, the stigmas and the stereotypes, they get over on your own people sometimes.
Yeah.
But baby, prove me wrong. I won't be mad.
I'll probably be happier.
Yes, and then also people have to understand, with failure, with lessons, with being wrong, you're still learning.
Oh my God.
You're still learning.
Literally.
You got to be not stubborn to be so butthurt about the hurt. What was the lesson?
It's hard, not the butthurt part, because I can get past the butthurt part. But I think people are afraid to fail. And speaking as I'm people, a lot of times people don't want to try because they don't want the worst case scenario to happen.
Right.
And then some people who, like myself, who are going to try regardless and still, don't want to fail. It's hard in the moment to think about, okay, well, if it doesn't work out, or if I don't get the job, or if I don't get the raise, what happens then?
Right.
It's hard to see that part of it, and because it's unknown, it's scary.
Yeah.
But one thing I learned is that everything in life, as an adult, speaking of, like, from that perspective, everything in life is a risk.
For sure.
And you can either do two things. You can not take it, or you can be your true, authentic self, take it, and hope for the best.
Yes, for sure.
Those are the only two options in life.
That's it. That's the thing.
Everything after you choose that path is branches, and it could be all the variables and stuff like we talked about earlier. But when you get to that fork in the road, when you have to make that decision, that determines the future.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, every time I get to that fork in the road, I will always choose to be who I am and hope for the best.
Yeah, and I think a lot, to go back to what you said about planning. I think planning and manifesting are kind of one and the same to a certain extent. A lot of people that I hear succeed, they say, "Oh, I didn't make a second option. It was just the first option. I didn't." And I understand that that works for some people. Don't work.
Nah,
I think it's about finding a happy medium. It's about that balance between planning and manifesting. All right, shit may not go how I want it to go. Let me spend some time to make a plan if it don't go. But after I finish that plan, I put that plan under the bed. I put that plan under a rock. I don't utilize that. I don't break the glass on that plan unless it's an emergency. I act as if that plan is not there, but I move with confidence that plan is there, because after I finish that plan, everything is manifesting plan A. I'm not sitting here worried about plan A, plan B, because I can put my bottom dollar on it. The next thought, after overanalyzing plan A and plan B, your ass gonna want a plan C.
Okay.
And you're gonna be so wrapped up in making all these plans, you're not manifesting shit to actually happen. You're just sitting around planning. So yes, you make yourself a little backup plan, but you put all that mind force, all of your positive insides, anything you can fathom up, you put that towards whatever the hell you're going towards. And please let that be something that's beneficial for you and whoever else you're engaging that with. Because I think that's the thing. African Americans, we think worst case scenario. We don't understand that's what we're manifesting for ourselves. But also, we can't move with confidence because how do we know it's that gray area? Right. How do I move with confidence in the gray area? We got to work on that faith. We got to build that faith. And it's okay to have a plan B. But it's not okay to use that plan B as a crutch. You need to move as if that plan B is not there.
Because then I feel like you'll always be waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly. And then in that waiting for the other shoe to drop, your thoughts are that this shoe is going to drop. You don't have faith.
And I think it all ties into the fear of failure or the fear of things not working out. Or
right, the fear of not being able to control. You're not pulling the strings on this. You're not the one that says this, that, and the third. But what I want all us to understand that I feel like social media has got us messed up on. We is not good. We don't pull the string. We ain't even really in control over shit for real.
For real.
If you want to be clear, I literally saw, and this is gonna be so kind of left field. I saw this video on Facebook, and it was literally just a whole bunch of pictures this person drew, and the picture went from this nice little lady. She looked like she could have been like Medusa's cousin, or something like that. But it was like clearly artwork. And then it snapped out. And it snapped out to, like, where she was, location-wise. And then it snapped out again to, like, the region. And then it snapped out again to, like, Earth. And then it snapped out again to, like, the solar system. And then it was basically to show you, like, how small we really are in the context of the whole world.
Yeah.
And then it kept going to, like, some real deep shit when it was, like, okay, the earth is in the ocean, and then it's an alien looking at that, and then it was a white man looking at the alien, and then it was a group of aliens looking at the white man looking at, and I was like, oh baby, we didn't, okay, and but that also was to show me, baby, I don't know what the fuck is really going on out here. That ain't none of my goddamn business. What my business is waking up every day and making sure I'm happy. And whatever I'm doing in that day is going to lead back to pouring into my cup. I can pour into other motherfucking cup, but I need my cup at least half full. Or it need to be some in my cup at the end of the day. And I was just sitting over there like, damn, am I going to go on a rabbit hole to see if the aliens is really looking at the white man? Because I know the white man looking at the aliens. But the alien could be looking at the group of aliens could be looking at the white man looking at the alien. He think he in control, but he ain't.
But he not.
So I was just like, no, because if I find out that the alien's looking at the white man, what the fuck is I'm gonna be able to do about it? Okay, so that means it's time to stop. Yep. Visual has ended, so this is where visual will end, you guys.